What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So for this horror trailer review, we are taking a look at Resurrection Road, exclusive trailer. A Civil War horror movie unleashes Confederate monsters. I can't think of or remember the last Civil War horror movie we got. I mean, nothing comes to mind in the last, I'd say, 8 to 10 years, and maybe even longer. Now, we've had horror films based in wartime or based with the backdrop of war, but I can't think of one that's happened specifically during the Civil War. So if you happen to know of one, again, it's just not on the tip of my brain, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what that is, the title of that film, and when it released, because again, I can't think of one, but we do have a trailer for one. So like we always do, we'll jump into the article details, see what information we have on this one, potential synopsis. But if this has been released in any way, shape, or form in the international market and there is any review information here, I will be skipping over that because I just don't want that to sway any opinions, perspectives I may have on the trailer. Again, we do know some films tend to get released in the international markets before they even make it to the US. So I don't know if this happens to be one of those. If it is, like I said, we'll skip over that. But as I always do, I will put the link for this article in the description of this video. So if that information is there, you can always go back, click on the link, and check it out for yourself. Otherwise, as we always do, let's jump into the article details. Then we are going to check out the trailer. So again, as the headline reads, Resurrection Road exclusive trailer, Civil War horror movie unleashes Confederate monsters. All right, so we obviously have, I'd imagine, is an image from the trailer or from the film. It only makes sense. So we got 4 soldiers here. They don't look like Confederate soldiers. These ones happen to look like Union soldiers, and they have what appears to be another individual here, Native American individual, behind, walking with them. Not sure if this is someone they've just come across while they've been traveling, or if it's a translator that's working for the Union. We do know that the Union did have Native American translators, did have Native American soldiers with them, so not sure if that's the case here. All right, so director Ashley Cahill takes us back to 1863 with the period piece horror movie Resurrection Road, with the Civil War still raging on. You all know I do love period piece films in general, and then when I happen to get a period piece horror film, that's just two checks on the list of things I tend to enjoy. So I am looking forward to seeing this one because I do like period piece films. In the upcoming film, an elite squad of 6 black soldiers led by ex-slave Barabbas is sent on a suicide mission to infiltrate a heavily guarded Confederate fort hidden deep in the Arkansas wilderness. All right. Teams have been sent before, but no one has ever made it out alive. Their objective: destroy the fort's long-range guns and shift the tide of the war. But as they venture further into enemy territory, the mission takes a chilling turn. The soldiers uncover a dark and sinister secret buried within the heart of the forest, one that will test their courage, loyalty, and will to survive like never before. All right, so I'm wondering, especially when it talks about their loyalty, if they're talking about loyalty to the Union, loyalty to each other, or if they start to, their minds get played with and they start to turn on each other and they have to realize that they can't do that, they're going to survive. So I'm wondering how that's going to play out. Obviously, we have the casting information here. We're not going to read everyone's name. Watch the trailer below. So this does look like it's going to come to select theaters and digital on demand outlets beginning June 6th. So we have roughly 3.5 weeks before this hits digital. I don't recall, I checked theater listings for another film just a couple days ago, and I don't recall seeing this one as a coming soon in any theater near me. So I don't think this is going to be one playing in my area. So obviously we'll be waiting for the digital drop on June 6th. So we have the trailer, which we're going to watch, and we have the movie poster here. Not a movie poster I would expect to see for this film, especially like the font here. I guess just the overall look and feel of this. I don't know. It doesn't feel, it feels like a very much a straight to DVD or straight to physical media type poster. I mean, based on the premise we just read, I would have expected a poster to look a little bit better. And I guess the only other thing I would make mention of is how he's holding this particular gun, I mean, this is a rifle. You would never hold a rifle. I mean, this particular rifle, you would never hold like this. He's holding it as if it's a sawed-off like shotgun, like where they would cut off, like they would, take inches off of the barrel, and then they would, saw off the butt of it. This isn't that type of gun, so that doesn't, to me, when I think about the Civil War, I think about the weaponry used there. This isn't something you would do. You wouldn't hold this rifle like this. Yeah, so the poster really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. This looks like to be an individual for the Union, but then when you look back here at this guy, how he's dressed, his hat doesn't look, it almost looks like he's wearing like a shirt or hat that he probably would have found somewhere in the 80s or the 90s. Not something I would expect, especially with all this rhinestone look on his shirt. And his hat, not something I would expect to, as it looks, that you'd see in, what was it, 1863? This is supposed to be happening in. Let's go back to the article detail. 1863. Not the look I would be expecting to see. So, anyways, that's the movie poster. I'd say it's probably one of the least posters I've liked thus far when doing all these trailer reviews. So, all right, we're back at the top of the article. Let's pull up the trailer and see what this one's going to be about.
What do you know about Fort Defiance?
Just things I heard.
We want you to lead an expedition into the fort and destroy everything in there.
Why me?
Because you know the area.
You and your team, you could walk out of here with the promise of freedom, or you and your men could be put 6 feet under.
What happened here?
The devil.
Ain't nothing out here.
I think it was a wolf.
No wolf did this. I heard about this fort. They say no one ever go in and come out alive.
This ain't no regular fort.
We should go before they find us.
They already have.
And you come here to kill me?
I came here to send your ass to hell.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Killing folks is thirsty business.
All right, so it looks like we are dealing with vampires. That's what I got from the latter part of that trailer. They're getting into this fort. We saw all the various caskets toward the ends of that trailer, but it definitely looks like we're dealing with vampires here. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but the way the trailer started out, how it was filmed, it didn't look. It really just looked like everything was, especially for 1863, especially during the Civil War, when we saw when he was being brought in, he was chained, he's being brought in to go out on this mission, and when we saw all the tents and everyone walking around, everything seemed too clean, everything seemed too new, so to speak. And I'd imagine during this time period things wouldn't have looked like that. And it could have just been how it was filmed, and it just looked a little too crisp and clear. It didn't have that rugged look that I would expect for the time period of 1863, especially during the Civil War time. Now, as the trailer went on, it did, for me, the aesthetic and the look did get better as it got into the horror aspect, as it got a little bit darker when they got to the fort and it was nighttime, and now they're kind of in all these like tunnels, and we saw the caskets and we see the fighting happening back and forth, which again, it appears to be vampires. So we're getting another vampire film this year. We just had Sinners, which happens. I know a lot of people, not to get off track here, but I know a lot of people didn't like Sinners, thought it was overhyped, but apparently a lot more people do like Sinners, and it did a lot better than I think was anticipated, considering the money, the budget that was put towards it. Many people thought that budget wasn't going to be made back, and it absolutely was, and it made a profit. So anyways, we're getting another vampire film, Resurrection Road, here come June. I think it's June 6th or 7th. I think it was the 6th. But I'm not fully sold on this one yet. What has me intrigued is the latter part of that trailer. The first part of the trailer, it just feels like it doesn't really represent the look and feel of 1863 Civil War time. So that might be, hopefully we don't spend too much time on the setup of the slow burn for this film. Hopefully we get to the point where they show up at the fort, and a good portion of this film is happening, at nighttime. They're fighting off the again, what I assume and what appears to be vampires, and then they have to obviously then either complete the mission by destroying the weaponry there and getting back. And I'd imagine not all of them are going to survive. I think in that in that picture, there was only 4 of them plus the Native American that was with them, so a total of 5. I'd imagine probably 1 or 2 of them are going to live, and that's it. I wouldn't be surprised if the main one we saw that's kind of leading the group sacrifices himself in one way, shape, or form to complete the mission, or to kill off all these vampires. If, again, that's my assumption as to what's happening here. So while I am still intrigued, I will watch the film. We will do a spoiler review on the film. I'm going into it a little cautiously because, again, just the first part of that trailer just, for me, doesn't truly represent of what I would expect it to look in 1863 during Civil War time. So, all right, everyone, that's going to do it for this trailer review for Resurrection Road, a Civil War horror film coming June. I think it was June 6th, I believe. But let me take a quick second and confirm the date, just so you all have it correct as well. Yes, June 6th, select theaters, but is coming on digital and on demand on June 6th. So we will be on the lookout for that. We'll probably do a spoiler review of this film middle of June, towards end of June, just to give enough time for those who do want to watch this film, enough time to watch it and not be fully spoiled. So be on the lookout for that as well. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you thought of the trailer if you're interested in this film. If not, still drop a comment in the comment section and let us know either way. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.